I'm following up on the video that I made where I speculate that Trayvon may have been disoriented on the night that he was killed. I say in that video that I think he may have been lost because of the conditions he faced that night. It was very dark, he was being followed, and he was not on his home turf. So when Trayvon said to his friend on the phone that he was by his father's house, maybe he really was by witness number 6's house, the second house from the end, just the wrong end. My feeling has been for some time that Trayvon never went south of witness number 6's house, and more specifically, he never went further south than witness 6's patio door. Now, I know there are problems with my scenario, so I invited you to disagree with me in the comment section. And one person said that there was running in this area here, south of witness 6's house. And this had something to do with the placement of the objects found in the crime scene. Now, before I go on, I should say that I'm not putting these speculation videos out there just to stir up controversy. Investigators haven't told us all the details of what they think happened. We know they believe George murdered Trayvon, but we don't have the details of how far they were running, where they were running, and so on. So that opens up room, a little room, for speculation. This map is from the document dump. It's a triangulation map. It shows the placement of the objects found in the crime scene. I've marked the 2 items that belong to Trayvon. Here we have the cell phone, which, as you can see, lines up with witness number 6's house. And north of that is a 7-Eleven bag. Now, this map, as you can see here in the corner, is not to scale. There is another map that I do believe is to scale. Here you can see number 7, which is the cell phone. And if you go across, you can see where it lines up. This feature right here is witness number 6's patio door. And north of that, you can see the shopping bag. But what this is meant to illustrate is how the items in the crime scene are clustered within this area, and nothing falls further south than witness number 6's patio door. Now, witness 1 and 2, who live 3 doors down from the end, this is their patio. Witness 2 said she saw a chase with 2 people 10 feet apart. She made that statement on the night of the shooting. And that would correspond with what the commenter said about there being running in this area. But then witness number 2 changed, or I should say modified, her statement. She said she saw something, that's in quotes. And then she modified her statement again and said she saw a person. Then she modified that again and said she heard the sound of running feet more than saw it. And I suppose you can interpret that however you will. But the way I interpret it is that witness number 2 went into her upstairs bedroom, saw a flash of movement in her peripheral vision, glanced up, but as she said, was only a glance, and later on realized that she had in fact heard more than saw running. In any event, she was looking from an angle. I don't know what her vantage point would be, and if you measure out 10 feet, which is what she originally said she saw them apart, how that would look from an upstairs window, and whether that what she says definitively says that someone was running parallel to her house. She might have glimpsed movement up in this area where all the items are clustered. Now, regarding those same witnesses, witnesses 1 and 2, who live in this house, witness number 1 gave a statement to the FDLE that she saw her neighbor in this second house, witness number 6's house, come out onto the porch. And there is a long passage, if you get a hold of the transcript of her statement, where Bachelor asks her, how does she know it was her neighbor? And she says maybe it wasn't him, because she thought it was him, because that's where he lived. And at the end of that passage, Bachelor asks her, what was he wearing? She said he was wearing a dark top and sweatpants. Now, she said she heard this person say something and that they were going to call the police and return into the house. But it is clear that investigators are wondering who this person is, whether it is in fact her neighbor. And it is very odd that this person was dressed in the same description of Trayvon's clothing. So for the final little piece, I want to go over again how odd this neighborhood is in terms of its look. That the houses are all the same. They're painted the same color. There's not much contrast. There's no color in this neighborhood. There's light beige houses and medium beige houses. There's green grass, there are green trees, green shrubs, and gray sidewalk. This is a colorless environment, no pun intended, if you take my meaning. But my point is that there are no brightly colored flower beds at the retreat. There are no oddly designed or painted houses. You know, the sorts of things that help a person find their way in an unfamiliar environment. Everything is just the same. And when Trayvon left to go to the store, it was daytime. It was still light out. But when he returned, the conditions had changed. It was now dark and it was raining. And that colorless neighborhood was bled of even more color. So everything just turned into gray. So everything was just one color with no contrast. So that's the conditions. Those are the conditions he was facing. And that's why I think he may have become disoriented. So I don't know if I'll ever convince you. I don't know if I'm 100% convinced, but it's just one possibility. So you guys can tell me again what you think.